Marshall McLuhan was a Canadian philosopher of communication theory, known for his influence on understanding media. Born in Edmonton, McLuhan went to Cambridge to study practical criticism under literary theorist I.A. Richards. Building upon his ideas of media being an extension of the human body, McLuhan released his famous 1967 book, The Media is the Massage. McLuhan describes three historical ages or mediums of presenting media, which over time detach people from their thoughts, have the ability to reach larger areas, and create more of a complex industrial management system. The first age McLuhan talks about is called the acoustic age. In Medium is the Massage, McLuhan states that until writing was invented, we lived in an acoustic space. We were boundless, directionless, horizonless, in the dark of the mind, in the world of emotion, by primordial intuition. So what does this really mean? Well, in this age, we relied on the co-presence and involvement of individuals in order to present media. Essentially, it was all talk. There were no other ways of communication other than physical interaction with one another, therefore causing us to rely on elements of speech and sound in order to present information. Until the writing age. McLuhan claims that the writing age abolished mystery, created architecture in towns, and brought roads in armies. It was the basic metaphor of which the cycle of civilization began. This way of presenting media detached people from their thoughts, as they could write them down and have others understand them without physically being present, unlike the characteristics of the acoustic age. Because of the effectiveness of this upgrade, we begin to see elements of archives, codified rules, bureaucracy, and power reaching over a large geographical area. The writing age is a signifying point in which these mediums begin to disappear. Ideas become internalized, causing us to stop thinking and start using. This idea was only amplified further when the age of the printing press came into play. According to McLuhan, the printing device confirmed and extended the new visual stress. It provided the first uniformly repeatable commodity, the first assembly line of mass production. This new medium rearranged the sense ratios of religion, literacy, politics, and brought us industrial bureaucratic management techniques such as rationalization, Fordism, and Taylorism. Speaking of Fordism, there are many parallels between the creation of the printing press and the industrial systems that were in place to mass-produce the first car. Keyword, mass-produce. Henry Ford, born in 1863, came to be America's biggest name in terms of automotive construction. Although Ford did not invent the assembly line, his sponsorship of its development led to the creation of Fordism, the mass production technique. In Maja Makula's Key Concepts in Cultural Studies, it is noted that the concepts of Fordism draw on the reputation of Henry Ford, historically credited as the first industrialist to mass produce a standardized product at a price which was affordable and made possible for mass consumption. So here we see elements of the printing press being replicated in Ford's concept of production. Both industrial systems of management uniformly control mass production of commodity through an assembly line at an affordable, rational price. Additionally, Makula states that the system of Fordism was characterized by a large-scale industrial plant with an inflexible mechanical production line. Now this sounds and looks a lot like an assembly line of the printing press. Therefore, by following a similar uniform control of production, as well as sharing an identical physical layout of industrial plants, it's quite evident that Fordism stems from the production concepts originally created for the printing press. But while the printing press acts as the founder of the assembly line, Fordism uses the available technology in order to extend the effectiveness of these concepts, taking them farther than they have ever been, figuratively as well as literally. And these effects that the printing press and Fordism have on society are exactly what McLuhan is referring to when he coined the phrase, "the medium is the massage." Rather than the actual information itself, McLuhan is more concerned with how these different mediums present the information, and therefore how we, as citizens, interpret it. As these medians or ratios change, we change. Think of it this way. In Hart and Negri's postmodernization reading, it is noted that, today, information and communication have come to play a foundational role in production processes. These different mediums that I was talking about earlier are examples of societal paradigms. According to the Oxford Dictionary, a paradigm is a typical example or pattern of something. These various mediums and ages act as a model for presenting media to society. As they change over time, we become accustomed to the new medium and adapt appropriately. This process is called a paradigm shift. Our change from the acoustic age to the writing age to the age of the printing press and now on to the electronic age prove that paradigms exist everywhere, specifically in McLuhan's concept of historical mediums. Hart and Negri view the succession of economic paradigms since the Middle Ages in three distinct movements. This sounds a lot like McLuhan's three distinct mediums of presenting information. Because it is. The first is the paradigm in which agriculture and the extraction of raw materials dominated the economy. Now this draws many similarities to McLuhan's acoustic age, in which we relied on the raw or natural concept of speech in order to pass on information. The second is a paradigm in which the industry and the manufacture of durable goods occupies the privileged position. Now, this semi-connects to the age of writing, where ideas, in this case goods, can be created and have others benefit from them without them being present, as well as the manufacturing ability of the printing press, where the press is in control of what is being presented. Finally, the third paradigm is one in which providing services and manipulating information are at the heart of economic production. This once again is related to the age of the printing press, where newspapers are being manipulated and mass-produced, as they themselves are at the heart of economic production. Therefore, it is evident that Hart and Negri take inspiration from McLuhan's Media is the Massage, as there is evidence of almost identical paradigms from both concepts. So, why did I choose this specific medium for presenting my information? Well, interestingly enough, because it encompasses every medium that McLuhan discusses in his book, and since that's what I've been talking about for the last 6 minutes, I feel like it fits accordingly. This presentation requires elements from the acoustic age in order to hear the information. Of course, it's not a perfect example because the information is not being presented through a primary source, but it's as close as I can get to representing it. Additionally, the writing that has been on each slide is of course an example of the age of writing. This is where I can effectively use the ability of sharing my ideas without physically being present to exhibit them. The age of the printing press is evident in a way which represents the mass production of information. Through the internet, millions of videos are being uploaded daily, and this is just one of them. And finally, in terms of the digital age, this video was uploaded onto YouTube, a digital video sharing site, through a digital movie file so it can be watched on a computer or mobile device. McLuhan's mediums of presenting information. You can pretty much find them everywhere.